breaking news, ladies and gents. Leeds United seem to be very good at football at the minute. But welcome back to the South Stand Review. I am joined, as always, as my partner in crime, Charlie. So before we go any further, guys, before we get into this, before we discuss the massacre at Vicarage Road, we had the massacre at Ellen Road the other week. This is the massacre at Vicarage Road. Please make sure you are liking, commenting, and subscribing, as I always say. But Charlito, let's get into this perfecto away result, mate.
Yeah, just I think it's just becoming a bit easy, this league now, isn't it?
Send us away.
But yeah, I always seem to have that pre-game dread still. I think that's just the Leeds United fan in me. I think it's just that part of my brain that's always saying, you know, this could fuck up at some point, but it just doesn't seem to be. Yes, it's a 4-0 win, which is great, but just the all-round performance, you know, certain individuals, which I'm sure we'll touch upon, but yeah, just an absolute demolition job once again, and all bodes well going into a massive game on Monday night next week, doesn't it?
The 2 Mondays, mate, isn't it next? The 2 Mondays?
Yeah, 2 Mondays, yeah.
We'll worry about that a bit later in the week, mate.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I'm sure there'll be the same stress, if not amplified more than it was tonight.
Yeah.
But I think I said on the last pod, mate, I was quite nervous about this one. I think we both had it down as being quite a tight game, and then first 10 minutes, I was very close to putting in the group chat when Perot missed that chance, saying it's going to be one of them days that we're not going to score, mate. It's going to be like fucking Burnley or something. But we did. So on the 20th minute, young DJ burst through, and mate, he put it away, as Dan James seems to do this season. He must be. How many is that for him now? He must be on over 10, surely.
He's on 10 now.
It's not bad, mate. And Solomon, that takes him to 10 as well, right?
No, he's on 7 goals and 7 assists now, is Solomon.
Not bad,
James
mate.
is on 10 goals and 6 assists, and then you've got Perot on 14 goals, and I think he's on about 6 or 7 assists.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that would have been his 6th, mate. So
just a lethal front three, isn't it, at the minute?
Mate, it's a joke, especially in this division, mate. But we'll run through some statistics as we always do. I always say we're not massive stat people, mate, but I always seem to bring stats up. So maybe we are stat people. But what shocked me, mate, as we've just discussed briefly off air, was they had, it seems, a lot more of the ball than us. They didn't do a lot with it, but 61% to 39% in the possession, mate.
Yeah, there were spells across the game where they did move it around quite well, but as you've said, they didn't finish any of it off. Thank God. I think Ilan was forced into a few decent saves in the game, really, to be fair, from the brief opportunities that they did have. Obviously, they hit the bar near the end of the game as well. But yeah, as you've said, even though the stats obviously say they had way more of the ball than us, I still wasn't really worried at all in that game. It was quite a quick start to the game as well. Obviously, you've mentioned Perot's chance there. I think they went straight up the other end and had a chance as well. And I did think it was going to be a bit of a basketball match, but I think from Dan James getting that opening goal, it just settled a lot of the nerves or the franticness about it, and it just settled down into a routine win, didn't it?
Well, yeah, mate, like scored the first goal on 20 minutes, the second on 28, and then Solomon's deflected goal on 35, mate. So it all happened pretty quick. I mean, in the first half, the first 3 goals at least anyway, bro. But yeah, they had a lot more. Like, if I was looking just at the statistics, they had 614 passes. We had 387.
The stats are quite weird considering it was a 4-0 win for us, but yeah,
massively, mate. But the player that I want to touch on that was missing for them, that I think we were both quite hot on the Ellen Road performance, was Quido Bar. I think we all spoke about him in the group chat, and I thought he's going to cause us a few problems. And I was a bit nervous about him. Is he injured or anything? Do we know? Or he's not in the team? Or has he been sold?
Either injured or he's suspended. Didn't he get like suspended for doing that Fortnite dance in front of the Chef Wednesday fans or something?
He's still suspended from that.
It I don't think so. That feels like a while ago now, to be fair. But either way, obviously, it was unavailable. It was him that scored at Ellen Road.
Yeah,
They had that other player. What was his name? Loser.
he is a fucking loser, mate.
He was tonight, but yeah, he seemed like he was quite good on the ball. And there's another player, and I can't pronounce his name, but the number 8 for them. He was spoken quite highly in the build-up, and I did think he may have caused us a few more problems, but thank God that he didn't. But as you said, it was just purely dominance from us. Obviously, that Dan James goal, the first one, was just handed to him on a plate, wasn't it? And it was a good finish as well.
Mate, great finish. I mean, a few years ago, we all said that Dan James had a real lack of end product, mate.
Yeah.
And his ability to cross the ball in now and his ability to finish chances like that. I think Don Matteo said at half time that he just puts his boot through it now and hopes for the best. And I was like, well, there's worse things to be doing, mate. But
yeah, I mean, every time he gets on ball now, you just think something's going to happen, don't you? Yeah, really good player, unbelievable.
And then we will move on to King Mano of Solomonas, who the Leeds official Twitter page called it a screamer. I don't know if that was banter or what, mate. But when they put it out there, I was like, I didn't really see it as a screamer, but we'll take it nonetheless.
Yeah, it had to be banter, didn't it? I mean, I thought it was off out for a corner. To be fair, it was a bit of a delayed reaction in my house. As he hit it, I thought it was, like I said, just going straight out for a corner, and then I saw them all celebrate, and I thought, oh, he scored. But yeah, I think it come from a throw-in, didn't it? I think Firpo threw him it. He would just spun the player, and yeah, like I say, he may have got it on target. I don't think it would going in if it hadn't been for the deflection, but yeah, I think the game in the cup at the weekend
Exactly
proves that you'll happily take one of them, won't you? But yeah, again, I thought all of the forward players were on point tonight, and even Brendan Aronson, who I thought was really good. I thought he ran him ragged tonight, and yeah, his end product seemed a bit better as well, mate. So yeah, all in all, a very good performance from the forwards.
We said it last week, mate, on the last episode. We're just going over all territory with this team now, mate. We're running out of superlatives to what to say about them. I mean,
It feels like the games are just the same.
Yeah, mate.
It's just rinse and repeat now.
We're sort as a podcast. I feel like we're sort of getting to the thing now with, what is it, 13 league games left. What else can we say? What else can we do? We come in here and we just say, do you know what? Another win, good performance.
I think whatever happens in the next 2 games, I think there'll definitely be a lot more to delve into and a lot more talking points, because Sunderland and Sheffield United are obviously 2 of the best teams in this league at the minute, as obviously us and Burnley. But as you've rightly said, that is a topic for another day. I am just trying to enjoy these games as they come, because I was thinking this as it was happening earlier. I thought, if and when Leeds get promoted, it's not going to be like this next season, is it? So just enjoy it while we can. The next 2 games will be more difficult. They will. Like I've just said, they are both good teams. But so are we. And we're top of the league for a reason. And as I said at the beginning, this league is just becoming a bit easy now. And I don't think that's too cocky to say at the minute.
Mate, look at the results. How can it be cocky to say that?
Exactly.
If we take the cup away, our last 3, we've done 7-0, 2-0 away at Coventry, and 4-0 away at Watford.
And I am glad as well that, obviously I'm glad we've won the game tonight, but even more so because I think the changes that Farke made in the cup are now justified. And absolutely. You could tell that. Obviously, you could tell it was just a completely different Leeds side from obviously Saturday afternoon, and it was the right thing to do. Now, obviously, now you can say it after the event, but yeah, it was definitely the right call. 10 changes was a lot, but you can 100% see why it was done. I just wanted to ask you as well, obviously, there is a stroke of genius that I think Fat has produced over the last few weeks as well.
You're not going to say what I think you are you?
And I didn't think I would say
Fuck
this.
it out!
No, but, and I'm not even saying that this player has performed superbly because I don't think he has. I think he's just ticked things over in midfield. But I think Gruev in away games, it's working. And I can understand why he's doing it. You know, Joe Rothwell at home and Gruev away. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's definitely working, mate. I mean, was it the Burnley game where we first tried this out?
Yeah.
And we probably might have thought, right, next away game when we go to Coventry, we'll probably fuck it off and go back to Rothwell and Tanaka in the middle. But, mate, we just look solid, mate. Like, through the middle, at the back, until Pascal came on today and was a bit like, oh, fuck me, Pascal. But, yeah, mate, I agree completely with what you said. We were trying to fuck him off out on loan, mate, at some point. We were thinking he's so far away from this team at the minute that he's not really getting back in. But like you said, props to Fark. I mean, we've been quite critical of him at times this season, but I feel like we're quite fair in parts, mate. We've left Ilan alone for a few weeks. So credit where it's due, mate. Gruev's playing well. Like you said, I don't think he's pulling up any trees, but just goes about his business quietly, mate, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And I did think that when Pascal was fit, that it would put Pascal back in and put Ampadu into midfield. But I think it's Pascal now that's got a bit of a job to get back in the team. As you said, he came on towards the end and he looked a little bit off it, to say the least. And thank God we didn't get a penalty and he didn't step up again. But yeah, I'm really liking the whole Gruev in away games format, and I didn't think I would be saying that. Obviously, the next away game, the next away game is obviously Sheffield United. So I probably expect Gruev to. I'd have expected Gruev to be in that game anyway, regardless of if it was home or away. I just think it's a kind of a Burnley level game for me. Is that where, providing we get a positive result against Sunderland, I think the Sheffield one is just a must not lose game like the Burnley one was. But yeah, just, I mean, Joe Rodon at the back as well, a player who's going a bit unnoticed as well. Just what an absolute brick wall that bloke is. A lot better on the ball this season, I think, as well. How he drives forward with it front back, mate. Don't know about you.
He did a bit of that at Wembley, if you remember. That was probably the closest we came to scoring a goal, was Rodon trying to do a sort of Maradona type thing and run it from the back, and then I think he let it run ahead of him and scuffed the ball. But yeah, mate, completely. I think because he's not on loan anymore, we're sort of maybe taking him for granted. I mean, if he was still on loan or we loaned him for a second season, we'd be thinking, fuck me, can we just sign this guy permanently, please? But he has been, I think I called him last week the organizer, excuse me, in that back four. And I feel like today it just cemented that even more, mate. Like his organisation, the way he gets on at people when they're not where they're supposed to be. And I feel like how he's not part of the leadership team blew my head in August. And it does even more so now. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I agree. But at least the good thing about that is that we've got leaders all over the pitch, regardless of, obviously, Ampadu's captain. I think, is it Melier and Struijk that are the vice captains?
Yeah, if Pascal and we weren't playing, I'd be saying to Willan, give me that fucking armband if I was Joe.
Exactly. But joking aside, I think it is good that we have got leaders all over the pitch. And I think Don Matteo said in pre-match that even the likes of like Dan James is a bit of a leader on pitch now, especially in those forward areas. You can see him dictating to Bogle, like how he wants his balls played. No, how he likes his balls played down at the line for him and stuff. So yeah, and obviously the Japanese Prince, I thought, had a very good game once again. Can we just talk about that fourth goal? Actually, speaking of Tanaka, because the build-up play for that fourth goal, the ball through from Tanaka into Solomon, close control. The feet from Perot before
Yeah,
he put it in.
ridiculous.
Just taking the piss out of him, wasn't he?
What did you say when we went in? I think it was 4-0. Something about Dan James, he said. Can you remember?
I may have said that I'd took him into bed at night. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, mate. But we'll.
What did you answer to that anyway? What did you answer to that?
I'll own it, mate. I said, make room for me. I'll give you the best 30 seconds of your life.
And I said that were generous, which it would be.
Yeah,
that's in 3 installments, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
you said, mate, that's 3 shags.
Absolutely.
Fucking hell, we always go off course. We were doing so well.
Bit off topic there, guys. Bit off topic.
Yeah, there will be an episode in summer where we just dissect our group chat, I'm sure. We'll have to block out the ones that get us arrested. But
the greatest hits from season.
The greatest hits of the group chat. Jesus. Yeah. But well, hopefully, mate, we have a busy summer because we've been promoted. But if we look at where we are now, mate, I even asked the missus during the game, I was like, are we going to win the league? And she said, yeah. And I was like, you're quite usually pessimistic about this. She's like, no, you're taking the piss out of everyone now. You're just going to win the league. I was like, thank the Lord. But, mate, I cannot.
Are you asking me if we're going to win the league?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're quite, I'd say you're the pessimistic one of the group.
Not pessimistic. I just try and get it into my head that things could fuck up so that when they do, I'm not as surprised. Or upset. But no, all jokes aside, I think if anyone's going to win it, it'll be us at the minute. I just think, and yeah, you know, there may be a game in which Leeds lose from now till the end of the season, but I just think the way we're playing on top of the results themselves, I'm looking at Sheffield United scraping past Portsmouth 2-1. I'm looking at Burnley getting 0-0 nearly every fucking week. Sunderland, yeah, they're quite exciting to watch, but they're a bit, you know, they're a young team, they're inexperienced. I just don't think any of the other top 4 are playing like we are at the minute. And it'll take something big to stop us at the minute. I really do believe that.
Mate, is it done if we win these next 2 games?
If we win the next 2 games, yeah, I think you might as well, yeah. Top 2, definitely, at the very least, is definitely done if we win these next 2.
Well, we're 6 points ahead of Burnley now, aren't
we? Even if we get 4 points out of the next 2, I think we'll be fine. Minimum, yeah.
It's still a great term, but mate, I fancy us to really do them both.
I do at the minute. I really do, yeah.
But
don't anyway, because I'll just get too excited.
Yeah, we'll try and park it, mate. But the pod we do next is going to be quite nervous because it'll be encroaching upon us, but confident, hopefully. Oh, guys, by the way, Mikey is severely ill. Not severely ill. He's got
like to get his voice back, can he?
No, he sounds a bit like Charlie did post-Borough.
No one sounds that bad. Jesus. That would take some doing, would that? But obviously, we're hoping to have Mike back on Thursdays. We're going to be trying to record a Meltdowns for the first time in what feels like forever. So that should be a good one. And then, yeah, we'll have a chat about Sunderland probably on Sunday, I reckon.
Can we discuss their attendance tonight?
Yeah, it looked pretty bleak, didn't it? Even pre-game, it looked quite empty. Obviously, it was definitely empty come the final whistle, but it sounded like an home game on telly.
Yeah,
the Leeds fans,
on the radio. Oh no, Sky Sports Plus, yeah, on the radio, on the telly.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get the
visual radio.
The visual radio.
Yeah. Yeah, just
19,582.
And 3 of that was us, so that's 16,000 home fans.
They've given us 2,000. They're saying 2,000.
2,000. Even so, that's what 16,000, 17,000. That's
17 and a half, mate. Wow. And what does Vicarage fund? It must be getting on 30,000. Oh no, only 1. Bollocks.
Just to point out as well, guys, Isaac actually forgot that Tommins was still a footballer until he came onto the pitch.
It was like seeing an old friend, mate. I was like, "Hey up, mate! I've not seen you in a while."
He's just a standard Championship player. He's been around the block as old Tom. I'll be honest, he was probably the only player who I definitely knew in their team. I'll be honest.
I know that KM, my full-time mate, because he was fucking dreadful for them. He was just trying to give
Was
him
he the one that gifted Dan James the goal? It was, wasn't it?
And then he tried doing it again.
In second half, he received the ball and just kicked it out for a corner. But yeah.
And then his mate tried running back to save him, and then Loser had to come and pat him on the head and say, "It'll be all right, mate. Come on."
Don't get me wrong. I think they were shit. I will say that, but we were very good as well. I don't think it was just the fact that they had a poor night or whatever. Like that's their fifth home defeat in a row.
That's their fifth defeat in a row, mate.
Well, yeah, but I think they've not won at home in 2025. They last won at home on Boxing Day. So again, is it? I don't know if to take any positives away from it. Like this is a game that we should have won. But again, I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm trying to enjoy it in the moment because, like I said, next season's going to be a different kettle of fish. It's going to be pretty bleak for the majority. So I'll say it to everyone: just enjoy it while you can. Just enjoy it while you can. That's all I'll say.
I don't know if the podcast will last, mate, when we're getting drilled 9-0 every week by Man City and that.
Meltdown should be fun next season.
Yeah, because it'll be us melting down all the fucking time, mate.
I think if we invest right, I'm not saying we'll finish in Champions League places or all like that, but I think we could survive comfortably if the business is right. But again, that's looking way too far ahead. But yeah.
I'll take a comfortable 9th again, mate, and sign in some Brazilian lad from Rennes or something. That worked.
Yeah, hopefully.
But we'll have a long break over the summer to discuss all this, mate, and I'm sure we'll be on transfer news as and when it comes in through the summer. But fuck me, we're getting carried away. AHL. We've still got 13 games to play. The what's
14,
that?
I think.
14. What is that? What's that podcast that Porpy does?
Don't go to bed just yet.
Yeah, mate. The guy from Kaisers said that we've still got 5 losses in us or something because that's the Leeds thing to do. And I was like, don't say that, please.
Again, I think that's the part of my brain that keeps having a little bit of dread before every game now. I think it's each game now feels massive, doesn't it, at this point? And as you've said, if we can, like I said, bare minimum 4 points out of the next 2, and I think we're well on our way. 2 wins, and I think you might as well sign, sealed, and delivered for me, especially top 2 at the very least. So yeah.
Well, everyone from the outside, mate, you're probably like me when you interpret this information and thinking, "Oh, they're just trying to fucking put us off our game." But everyone on the outside of Leeds United is saying that they're up already. Them, like,
yeah, they all think we're up already, and I get it. You know, from outside, they don't have the dread that we do. They don't know everything about Leeds that we do. So, but yeah.
One thing I like to do to make myself feel better is, mate, we are the same points clear now as Birmingham are of second place in League One. So if we look at them objectively, me and you would both say that Birmingham they're up, aren't they? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, if you look, even if you just look at us goal difference,
what is it? 40?
It's 47 now.
47.
And then the second best to us is Burnley on 28, so that's nearly 20 goals ahead.
That's 7 goals a turn on it.
You could take that as an extra point, don't you? Really, goal difference, I guess. But yeah, it's just like you said earlier. I'm running out of positives to say at the minute. Fuck the FA Cup the other day. That was shit. Fine, whatever. But in his last 3 games, we've scored what? 13 goals in his last 3 games. And not conceded any. It's an absolute joke, really. So yeah, I'm happy, and obviously to make it a better night as well, did you notice that Weston McKennie scored for Juventus tonight in the
Did
Champions
you
League?
see the goal? It was an absolute screamer. I was going to put in
Banger, to be fair to him. He still looks fat as fuck, like, but
he can't half kick a ball. Oh, result just in.
Real Madrid won.
Bellingham 90+2.
Oh, Jude Bellingham. Wow.
Get in, Jude. They'll all be crying now because Rodri got the Ballon d'Or, won't they? We started flash up then, 3-2.
Pretty peak as well. Like, did you see that City put that big banner in the stand as they're walking out? Oh.
Mate, like we've pretty much wrapped up the Leeds talk for this episode. But I want to get your opinion, mate, on what the fuck's going on with John Eustace.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I know they've triggered the clause, but it feels like whatever decent manager Blackburn get, they can never keep them. And I think it's because it feels like they're not going to support him enough in obviously behind the scenes. But to go from 6th to what is it, 22nd? 21st, 22nd? But yeah, that's up to him, innit?
They apparently he's been applying for every vacant job in the Championship this season.
Has he really?
Apparently so, mate. Yeah, apparently he applied for Coventry, but they chose Lampard instead. And apparently he applied for West Brom as well when that came up.
Yeah.
So he obviously wanted out of Blackburn sharpish, but have we got to play Derby again or not?
No, we've played him now, mate. We're all good. I know, yeah.
I don't like playing John Eustace.
Farker's kryptonite, innit? Farker's kryptonite.
He is, mate. Him and Scott Parker, it looks like, mate, because...
Yeah, but I think we'll leave it there for tonight. Like we say, there's no else more we can say other than that we're just taking the piss in the Championship at the minute.
What we need, mate? We need a good loss.
We don't need a good loss. Do not say that. But like I said earlier, the next 2 games will be a lot more difficult, or should be a lot more difficult on paper. But
might be 5-0.
Only time will tell. I'm sure Ellen Road will be bouncing on that Monday night for the Sunderland game, so I can't wait to be there for that. But yeah, like I say, guys, big thank you to everyone that watches in advance of this going up. We'll be back in a few days, hopefully, to give you a Meltdowns episode before previewing Sunderland at the weekend. But for now, enjoy the rest of your night, and we will see you in a bit. Cheers.